Hello everyone, this is Rakesh Kapilas and I welcome you all in my today's class, and I hope you all are fit and fine as well as healthy at your places. So today we are going to discuss class 12's business studies, and the topic for the day is leadership. As you all know that in our previous of the lectures we have gone through the first two elements of directing, that was supervision and motivation. So after supervision and motivation, the next and third element of directing we are going to start, that is leadership. What is leadership? Leadership is a quality of a manager in which he influences the behavior of people working under him. Normally it is said that all the employees used to give 60% of their caliber, 60% of their, you can say, potential, but the remaining 40% that depend upon a good leader to extract from them, to get from them, then they will be delivering 100% for the betterment of the organizational goal. Leadership, in simple terms, we can say it is a quality or it is a process of influencing the behavior of a group. Leadership. What features you will get in leadership? We will go through the meaning. The very first is, it is a process of influence. It is a process of influencing the people. Like so many people working under a manager or a leader, then he should be able to influence the people. Then they will start listening to them, or what you can say, following them, following their orders. If he is not able to influence, the leadership quality becomes zero. Second, it is a behavior changing process. Like someone is doing the work according to his own style, then that style is wrong. So the leadership quality should have the you can say capacity to change the behavior of that person who's not doing according to the pre-decided manner or according to the you can say designed pattern, or he is not making best of his her efforts for the achievement of organizational goal. That is, the leadership should have the quality to change that. The third is, it is a continuous process. Leadership is not a process which we need occasionally. It should be all the time. You have to all the time lead the team. Goal oriented. Leadership always try to influence the people, try to influence the behavior of a group for a pre-decided organizational goal. The last is, in the leadership quality, there should be a person who is called leader, group leader, and others should be followers. If a single person is standing in a company, leadership will be zero. The leadership will be, you can say, possible only if there are followers who are going to listen and who are going to follow the instruction of that leader. That is leadership having leader and followers. The next question sometimes we get that how you can define or how you can differentiate the manager and leader. Normally it is said all the managers are the leaders, but all the leaders are not managers. So how you will differentiate the manager or leader? The very first is basis of formation. The manager work in formal organization, which is not spontaneous in nature, which is intentionally created, while leadership or leader work in a informal, right? Second is focus. The manager focus on the achievement of organizational goal So a manager used to attempt, or manager used to do so many activities: planning, organizing, directing, staffing, controlling, as on. While this focus of the leader is only up to a limited, you can say, activities, only up to the influencing the behavior to make it sure that they should do the work according to the prescribed manner. Scope: manager having a larger scope because it have to deal so many activity, while the leadership or leader having a very small scope. Authority: in case of manager, authority is normally, what you can say, centralized or decided, while in case of leadership the authority sometime is not centralized. This is the difference between manager and leader. Now the next topic we will discuss: how many styles of leaders may be there. Suppose I am the leader, then how many in how many ways I can lead my team. The very first is autocratic. Autocratic, democratic, and laissez-faire style of leadership. The very first is autocratic, which is also called leader-centered style. This is a style in which the leader does not ask anything from anyone. He used to take all the decision at his own. Means he need not to consult, he need not to involve in his leadership style to take the decision. The features may be in that case, it is a single man decision type of style in which only one single person will take the decision, or it is a centralized type of authority in which all the authorities will be given by one person, or what you can say, it is always downward communication because one person will give the direction to the lowest and lowest and lowest and lowest. Only one person, single person centered, that is called autocratic style of leadership. Now what advantage you will get? Suppose if someone is following the autocratic, sometimes this is also called like dictatorship of type of style of leadership. Like, I'm not asking anyone to take any decision, I'm not involving in decision making to anyone, I am taking all the decision at my own. I'm not you can say, no involvement of anyone. This is one single person, autocratic. What advantage you will get? The very first advantage you will get: quick decision. You will not ask anyone to take decision, or like to consult anyone. No need to consult, and I'm not going to consult anyone. So there will be quick decision within quick time. And second, this type of style will work when the people working in a group are not so educated. They having no talent, no skill, no knowledge, no experience, then it will really work. This is called autocratic. Come to the disadvantage. If you are following it autocratic, then what may be the disadvantages? Number one, what you can say, the motivation of employees. The employees will not motivate because they will not be interfere. They having no right, they having no chance, they have no platform to give the suggestions, so they will feel demotivated. And sometimes this type of style is, you can say, opposed by the employees. They used to make the agitation against that. This is wrong. So this may be the advantage or disadvantage. Now second is democratic, which is completely opposite. It is also called, what you can say, group centered style of leadership, in which the single leader will not take the decision at his own. He will involve some people just to consult them the quality, just to check the quality or the impact of the decision. Democratic features: group centered, decision will not be taken by one person. Second, open communication. Communication will not be from top to bottom, like in this case, the open communication. Anybody can give the suggestion or any of the advice. Then it is also called the expanded authority. Authority will be expanded. Authority will not be, authority means authority to take the decision will not be in the hand of only one single person. It will be varied in so many people. This is called expanded. Now come to the advantages. Now the disadvantage of this thing will become the advantage of this, and the disadvantage of this will become the advantage, because these are the opposite things. Now the very first advantage, employees will motivated, right? Employees will be motivated and employees will be concentrated, or you can say employees will be directed more energetically toward the achievement of organizational goals, because they are being you can say involved in decision taking or decision making, this you can say. Then in this case there is no agitation, there is no opposition by the employee really prefer this type of style, right? And in this employees are being given importance, means organization is believing in the capacity of that, you can say, employee. Come to the disadvantage, delay in decision making, because you cannot take the decision at your own, you have to consult as per the you can say requirement of the style, so it will take some time. Sometime you will take the some time to take the decision. And second disadvantage in that case, sometimes some of the employees may divert the focus of this organizational goal. Some of the work shirkers, some of the inactive type of employees, they will divert the direction. So this is democratic, right? Democratic is opposite to the autocratic, and autocratic is democratic's opposite. If any advantage is there in this, this will become its disadvantage. If disadvantage is there, it will become the advantage. Now, when this type of style will work, I am talking about autocratic. Autocratic type of style will work when the employees are, you can say, less educated. They don't have the skill, knowledge or talent to take the decision or give the suggestion. They are inexperienced. While in case of democratic, this will work only when, number one, your leader is willing to expand the authority. The people working in a group are educated, they are experienced, they are skilled. Then democratic will work. The last is laissez-faire. This is also some type of democratic, but it is more democratic, and this is called individual centered style, in which each and every person in a group will be given the equal importance to take or make the decision. Laissez-faire. Features: faith in employee. You will involve employees only when you have the faith in employees. Second, independent decision making. Decision making will not depend upon anyone, because everybody is free to take the decision. Why? Because in laissez-faire type of style, the managers or leadership, they do not bother about the minor things. Minor decisions are being left up to the group. They can take at their own. Only vital, only you can say big decisions will be taken by the leadership. Rest decisions are being taken by the group, by the individuals. Last, it is a decentralized type of, purely decentralized. Power or authority is being given at a so much wide level. Laissez-faire. The advantages of this laissez-faire will same to the advantage of democratic. Employees will motivated. Employees will be working in a with a more energy to achieve the organizational goal. Disadvantage: delay, right? And sometimes some of the inactive or work shirkers will give the wrong direction to the achievement of organizational goal. So this is the three styles: autocratic and democratic and laissez-faire. So now in our next of the videos, we will try to discuss the next and last element of direction, that is communication.